And, that's obviously the theme of my writing. 3:33 a.m., the first book of the trilogy, is meant to allow a person the understanding of whether they are prepared for emergencies.
Yep.
So
You're watching Life is Life for Everyone with Chris and Ace, a speakeasy conversation brought to you by CooleyConservatives.com.
Hey, welcome back to the Speakeasy. We got another episode of Life is Life for Everyone with Chris and Ace. Ace is here in the Speakeasy in person.
speakeasy.
Loving it here. But we're going to start off with the theme of today's episode is we wanted to talk about, we talk about this all the time, right? Common sense, critical thinking. But what does it really mean? Let's kind of explore that. Let's what do the kids call it? Double click into that. Let's dive a little deeper into the discussion about critical thinking and common sense, and have that discussion. But first, let's start off right. Ace, you want to lead us in a discussion about Matthew? What do we say?
Yeah.
Matthew 14, verse 22.
Yeah. I thought that this might be a good way to introduce today's podcast, and Peter, with some of the other disciples, if I remember correctly from the reading in the Bible, he ended up in a boat, out in the water, and Jesus went up away from them and separated himself from those disciples, and the water started to get a little more wavy, a little more turbulent, winds, stormy, and suddenly here they see Jesus walking on the water, coming towards them, coming towards the boat. And, what would be our impression of that, Chris? I mean, shock, awe.
A ghost, right?
A ghost.
I think that's what it even says in the scripture.
I think you're right. And, Jesus asked Peter to come out to him, step out of the boat by faith. And what would that be like? What would it take to, in a leap of faith, step up, put your leg over the boat rail and step down onto the water, not in the water?
Yeah.
The confidence that in our Lord and Savior, that it would take in order to be able to do that, and not let your human critical thinking or common sense prevent you from following through with that task that Jesus the Christ, our Lord and Savior, is asking you to do.
Yeah.
And he did it. He stepped out and he walked, and he was walking on the top of the water, going out to meet Jesus. And then he lost it. He lost that faith and confidence.
That human rationale just kind of leaked out again.
And he started to sink. And, if I remember correctly in the scripture, Jesus reached out his hand and asked him to take his hand, and then they walked back to the boat, if I remember correctly.
Right.
So, tonight's, instead of opening with a prayer, opening up this podcast with the idea that, we as human beings, as people, we have faith in ourselves, but sometimes that confidence, that faith, isn't always enough to have us make the right decisions, and we end up in trouble. And tonight, Chris and I are going to share a couple of, maybe teenage or even preteen stories that we've experienced, and give you an idea of how a person might learn those critical thinking skills, those common sense skills, from either our mistakes or our successes. So
right on.
And to be able to build that theme into becoming more prepared. And that's obviously the theme of my writing. 3:33 a.m., the first book of the trilogy, is meant to allow a person the understanding of whether they are prepared for emergencies.
Yep.
So we're gonna take apart Chris's get home bag or his bug out bag, which is too heavy, I understand.
It is heavy. And I expect you to be very critical of me and give me like good, honest feedback.
Yeah.
There's probably things in there I don't even need.
Yeah.
And there's probably a bunch of stuff that I'm missing as well. So
Yeah.
be critical and help me make sure that I craft out a good bug out bag.
Yeah.
And actually, I have my regular get home bag too, the one I carry in my truck all the time.
good. We could look at both of those.
Right on.
In my book, I actually have a list of suggestions. It's it's what Ace and his wife Aylin used to leave their home.
Well, first to
travel.
Reunite.
Yeah.
In your story, that you guys were separated in the story first.
Yeah, Jackie had a small bag in her vehicle that helped her to get home. So
yeah. And by the way, folks, if you haven't read it yet, head over to cooleyconservatives.com and click that link at the top to go to the 333 book. You can get it off Amazon. It is a really good read. I'm telling you.
Thanks,
You'll love it.
Yeah. People are into it so far. So
it's good.
You have to read all three to fully get the picture, obviously, to get the whole story. But yeah, I think it's going to help people. So,
yeah, right on.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to take a break and then get started?
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for checking out this episode. If you like this content, then please visit cooleyconservatives.com and click the Buy Me a Coffee option to leave us a tip. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Truth Social. Oh, and you can get our content in your email inbox once a week by subscribing at cooleyconservatives.com. Thanks again. Take care and God bless.
All right, welcome back from that little break. I hope you all enjoyed actually, you won't even notice anything. It's all going to be edited and stitched together. So we spent about, 5 minutes maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back to the Speakeasy, our conversation about common sense, critical thinking. And the first thing I kind of set the table for the next segment is this story of this really incredible story about Derrick Van Orden. And did you get a chance to see this?
Yes.
Yeah, this is really incredible. So we're gonna watch this together, and maybe we'll comment throughout it too. It's only a couple of minutes long, but let me get this shared properly. All right, here we go. This incredible story about Derrick Van Orden, and I think this is about a week old now, maybe a week and a half by the time you see this.
Yeah. Now, if folks are listening from outside of our area and don't know who Derrick Van Orden is, he's the 3rd District Congressman here on the western side of Wisconsin, former Navy SEAL, actor, author,
and now Congressman.
Chris and I have met him several times.
He came down to our loggers game in July, and he's going to be here for the La Crosse County GOP. He's going to be at the GOP. What is it? The Lincoln Day dinner on September 6th. So, you know what? If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go get your tickets. September 6th, lacrossegop.org is where you can pick them up.
Mm-hmm. How much are those tickets? Do you know?
Go to the website and find out.
Okay, good.
Thanks for challenging me. You caught me. I don't know what they are. But yeah, that's lacrossegop.org. You can get your tickets to that September 6th. You can come meet this man yourself. But yeah, let's roll into this because this is a fascinating story. Here we go.
And being credited as a hero this morning, Congressman and retired Navy SEAL Derrick Van Orden driving in Iowa when he witnessed an SUV hit a semi on the side of the highway at full speed. He immediately jumped into action, rushing to the scene of the crash, where he found an 11-year-old boy who severely hurt his leg and wrist.
The boy had only minutes to live, but with the help of others who stopped, the congressman was able to use socks and seat belts and windshield wipers to fashion a makeshift tourniquet, stopping the blood flow and saving that little boy's life. That brave Wisconsin Congressman and retired Navy SEAL Derrick Van Orden joins us now. Congressman, this is a remarkable story on so many different levels. Tell us more about what happened and also why you were on that road at the time you were.
You bet. My wife and I were driving down to be with family to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of our daughter passing. Our oldest daughter died of cancer 2 days ago. And as we were going down through Iowa, I witnessed this horrific crash and turned around. My wife asked me, it was so violent. My wife asked me what that was because it was right in my rearview mirror. I said, someone just died. It was that violent. So I turned around and drove up to the crash and was able to help this young man who was grievously injured. His lower leg was destroyed, and his right arm was also grievously injured with an arterial bleed. And I grabbed some socks out of my suitcase to make constricting bands. And then as more people showed up on the scene, I asked for someone if they had a knife, and we cut away the seat belts, and I was able to fashion 2 tourniquets, one for his leg and one for his arm, to stop the bleeding. And I was just very thankful. I got to tell you what, this is an 11-year-old boy who was so incredibly heroic and brave. And all of the people that showed up there, the firefighters, the just passing civilians, the sheriff's deputies, they were just amazing. The paramedics that got to the scene about 10 or 15 minutes later were simply heroic. And I'm so proud to be an American right now.
It's such a beautiful and touching and amazing story. It does underscore the fact that God truly works in mysterious ways. Congressman,
Amen.
would this boy have died if you and the others had not stepped in?
As a very experienced combat medic, there is a greater likelihood than not that he would have passed away.
Oh, wow.
And again, I'm just incredibly thankful. And I walked into the hotel room. That picture you showed, that's our dog, Maple. Smuggled her into the hospital. Sorry, I'm kind of rolling myself up here. But I mean, who doesn't like a puppy? And he was very happy to see Maple. And he looked at me and he said, "Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you." And I said, "You're welcome, young man. And, you've got a great future ahead of you." I was able to speak to his dad, who clearly didn't know that our daughter had passed. And I said, "Sir, our daughter passed 2 years ago. And I'm very thankful that you don't have to share that experience." It was a very humbling moment with his dad.
Yeah, it certainly was. Congressman, what about the other people in the car? Did everybody survive this?
The mother is also hospitalized, but she was not as injured as badly as her son was.
Okay,
And
well,
so we're looking forward to a full recovery for both of them.
well, now you are a part of this family's family for life. And just to underscore what both of you are saying, the fact that you were on that road to celebrate your daughter's life after having passed away 2 years ago, and then able to save the life of another little boy. I mean, it's enough to just bring tears to your eyes. And like Todd said, God truly does sometimes work in remarkable and mysterious ways. And he clearly used you as a tool in this little boy's life, who I'm sure is going to do great things because of you saving him. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, there we have it. There we have it. It was what a beautiful story. I think they did a nice job there at Fox talking about God working in mysterious ways. And when I first saw that story, the first thing I thought of was preparedness.
Yeah.
The stuff you talk about in your book, the stuff over at USCCA, where I work, but I am not an official spokesman. I am just a proud employee. I have to have that disclaimer, the legal disclaimer. But it is preparedness, the common sense, being prepared and ready for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I talked about it on the podcast. This is something that we carry at stored at uscca.com. It is a great kit. I have this in my truck all the time. Actually, this is the one I'm going to present to Congressman Van Orden when I see him
Very good.
at our Lincoln Day. But I'm going to crack this open. So cracking this open, it has everything you need for an incident just like he went through. It has a tourniquet. It has like big packs of gauze. It's got even rubber gloves if you need to protect your hands and stuff. But preparedness. something as simple as this.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to use a sock and jerry-rig
Yeah.
a tourniquet.
But
have a proper IFAC.
Thank God that he had the foresight and the experience to think that way and be able to utilize what he did have available. And otherwise
And to keep his cool through the entire thing.
Yeah.
That's the amazing part to me.
That's like being the ultimate medic MacGyver. I mean,
Yeah.
using a seatbelt to adapt into a tourniquet with some socks.
And a windshield wiper.
That's ingenuity, and
Yeah.
that comes from experience under pressure. So
experience under pressure is a good way to put it.
Mhm.
You know, we were talking about it off air, the little things that we learn along the way,
Yeah.
making really dumb mistakes
Yeah.
and learning from those mistakes.
Yeah.
And hopefully, teaching others along the way. Don't do what I did.
Yeah, I have an experience that I could easily share. So I'm with a group of motorcyclists, and we're at an event, and where the home that we're at is on a sharp or kind of a long corner, and all day long the traffic at this event is just flying around on this road past us, and a small pickup truck with pulling a oversized boat, bigger than than it was safe. He shouldn't have been pulling that size of a boat. And he went around the corner too fast and lost control and ended up ejected. Him and the passenger got ejected from the truck within eye view of us, and we heard the crash as well. And one of them went through a barbed wire fence after he was ejected.
Ugh.
Right? Now, God's grace and mercy protected these two boys, right? Another girlfriend of ours and I grabbed our toolbox size first aid kit, and we took off. And the only training that I have is CPR, first aid, Red Cross training that I achieved when I was in the laborers union. Went through the class and learned all of this, and was often the person that would go on these poker runs with a lot of motorcycles, and I'd be one of the people that would be there as a medical person. So this experience, we took off running down the road about 100 yards away from the event. Got to the scene, took a look at these two boys screaming in the field on the other side of this barbed wire fence. Vehicle upside, on the side, trailer and boat tipped over. We immediately went to the two boys, and they had abrasions. They were pretty cut up, but nothing as serious as what Congressman Van Orden had to deal with, luckily. And we proceeded to patch, do the best we can to stop the bleeding that they did have. We bandaged, we helped keep them calm. First thing we did is we had someone call 911 as we were running up the road. Within, it seemed like minutes, we weren't too far from the town. First responders were there at the scene. After it all got done, we ended up visited. The kids went off in the ambulance. They came back hours later and visited our event with family, and to just thank us, for what we did. They were okay. They were all bandaged up. The EMTs, the first responders that were there, gave us kudos and credit for helping the way we did. And
well, they always say those first few minutes are the most critical.
Yeah. So a person could bring up the topic of Good Samaritan here. What if your preparedness and your willingness to help an individual in a situation like that would backfire, right? Well, there's laws. There's a law called the Good Samaritan law that would help protect a individual if something went wrong. And, in that you were trying your best to save that individual, and So there's rules and protection for that. Good thing to remind everyone on.
Yeah, that's a great point, because there's no reason to shy away from helping somebody.
No.
If somebody needs help, help them.
Yeah. That's a biblical, category too, the Good Samaritan. So, but our critical thinking skills need to have an ounce of preparedness to go along with them. This bag that you shared with everyone is excellent. I have a brand new unused first aid kit in my saddlebag of my motorcycle. Our group carries a full triage kit in a medium-sized toolbox, plastic toolbox. We upgrade it on occasion. We make sure expired items are renewed and replaced.
I was going to ask you, how frequently do you check it? Is it like a once a year kind of thing?
Usually, when
That
we
seems
grab
like
it,
it would make sense.
when we grab it, we look into it, make sure it's organized, and it goes on all of our event rides.
Cool.
I also have a makeshift put together first aid kit in our family car. I have rubber gloves. I have, just to protect. You should always use rubber gloves in any one of those situations. Now that I described that one incident, I also had one in Galesville, my hometown, and I ended up somebody crashed into another car at the intersection, and I was one of two people that got there before the first responders, and luckily, again, no one was seriously injured, but they were distraught, and they only spoke Spanish, so there was a language barrier.
Yeah,
but
that makes it very stressful too.
Yes, just calm, speaking out of caring. The woman that was there with me, we both were able to calm the whole family down. And when first responders came, there was someone that knew how to speak Spanish, and they took over for us. But so there's always, you just never know. I'm a semi-truck driver. I, knock on wood, I haven't had an incident where I have felt the need to stop and lend a hand. I've seen a few.
Probably see a lot on the road.
I've seen a few, and there's more than enough people there. A good point would be that if that's the case, you're just going to probably be in the way. I mean, if there's already first responders there, you certainly wouldn't want to add to the chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, common sense, critical thinking, adjust with the situation.
Yeah.
Be smart about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to, unless if there's one person there, maybe, or maybe even two, but.
Yeah, just be another pair of hands for somebody if they need some help. But that's a great point, just.
Yeah, multiple vehicles.
Speaking of that, just like we were talking about some of our personal experiences off air, but go out and get a little bit of training. Just a little bit of training goes a long way.
Yeah, the Red Cross emergency training program, that is excellent.
Are they free most of the time too? I
think so. I mean,
you could probably do it through a church for free.
Yeah. My the church that I was a part of, Living Word Christian Church, that our name for our podcast came from, Life is Life for Everyone. Pastor Clements, his quote, I believe he had all of his ushers and staff. He would put together something, your employer probably would be interested in having people be trained. So there's all kinds of options there.
Yeah. Just seek out ways of getting some of the training that you need. And I mean, just having the equipment is the first step, but then how to use it properly is definitely the next logical one.
Knowing your boundaries, knowing your limitations, knowing your abilities, stopping an arterial bleed is probably a pressurized situation that, not everybody's going to be comfortable doing. So you sort of need to step back and when your limitations are such that you're not able to be, properly care for that individual and someone else is, step out of the way,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, just be smart about it.
Yeah, only be the extra person to do the extra work at that point. My daughter's a nurse in the ER, and God forbid her too, if she ever is in that situation where she has to provide care. But you'd be surprised how many drivers on the road are properly trained, and the next one stops might be a doctor. I mean, you just don't know. But
Good point.
Doing what you can to help, that as a good Samaritan, and even if it's just calming an individual down.
Yeah.
So
I like that. That's a good
Mhm.
story too. Just calming people down, helping to keep the what is it, the temperature down.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what I've heard people say.
The hysterics can be, crazy when somebody's hurt. So
Well, and what is it? Shock.
Shock.
You got to be careful about that too,
Mhm.
making sure people just stay calm.
Yeah.
And then I think a blanket is what I've heard to
Mhm.
help avoid shock, right?
Yeah, covering the person with a blanket, helping them just to stay calm, telling them in a soft voice, everything's going to be okay, oh yeah, each situation's going to be unique and different. So
Well, and that's probably a good segue
Yeah.
into the next thing we want to talk about. So
Mhm.
after the break, let's crack open my bag and see what we got in there for
Mhm.
preparedness.
Yeah, sounds good, Chris.
Hi, thanks for checking out this episode. If you like this content, then please visit cooleyconservatives.com and click the Buy Me a Coffee option to leave us a tip. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Truth Social. Oh, and you can get our content in your email inbox once a week by subscribing at cooleyconservatives.com. Thanks again. Take care and God bless.
Premise what we're trying to do here. All of you, I don't know who all listens to this, neither does Chris. We place it on social media. I mean, I've got comments from people from all over the United States now because of it's on Truth Social, it's on Facebook. So the whole idea behind what we're about to do is to help you, whoever's watching or listening to this, to get yourself more prepared for any emergency. I know we just said it earlier today at the introduction, but if you're in a situation where there's a blizzard in Wisconsin in the middle of winter and you're stuck off the road, you go off the road and you have no, other than your tracks, nobody knows you're down in that ravine and you're stuck there and maybe you're a little injured, would you be able to survive? Same thing with, let's say you're in California and there's an earthquake, there's a tidal wave, who knows? The grid goes down. You're halfway home in your car on the freeway and things go crazy and you're not able to do anything more than just stay in your car for safety. Would you have enough preparedness to be able to survive that situation? So Chris has got an excellent bug out bag that Diane wouldn't be able to carry.
No, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, but
Well, and like I
you
said-
have everything you need that you feel you need. You're prepared more than 90% of people.
And that's why I want your critique on this to see, is it too much? Is it too little? Is it just right? Like, it's just right
depends.
for me when I go camping in the
Mhm.
forest. The other one I have is just my get home bag. It's just the one I have in my truck all the time. This is the one that I use. This is in my truck all the time.
Yeah.
This is my get home bag.
Yes.
So the concept of this is, I'm in my truck, I'm out at work doing whatever,
Mm-hmm.
something happens, and I need to get home.
Yeah. If I was in my semi, I have a small backpack get home bag that would help me to be able to if it's a day or 2 days or
Couple of
5
days.
days even, I can get home.
My goal with this one is 3 days.
Okay, that's a good point.
That's what I try to go for
Mhm.
this one.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I'm more than 3 days away from home.
Yeah.
So anyway, starting on the outside, I just have this really super simple water
Mm-hmm.
filtration. So even if I find some crappy water,
Mm-hmm.
I can still get water.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's probably another thing I should mention. The thing I think about are those threes: water, food, and shelter.
Yes.
So that's kind of the concept that I'm always going for.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah, totally.
All right. So the water, and you can tell I haven't even used this ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm keeping that for that
And
emergency.
And there are 50 or more different water filtration bottles, straws, systems.
Nice and cheap too.
Yeah. There's all different price ranges.
I like this one because it comes
Convenience.
with the container along with it. You can get the kind that like you go down to the creek and just suck right out of the creek directly. But I like having a good container.
Yeah.
Then I can take
Carry
it, and
it
go.
with you. Yeah.
All right. So in here, I don't even remember some of like candles.
Mm-hmm. Little.
Some way to get me some warmth.
Yeah. Small
chapstick,
candles.
And then the matches.
Yeah.
In a waterproof little container.
Good.
So, yeah, I guess that's fire starting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I really don't remember. It's been a long time since I looked in here.
This is a good review. Cliff bars.
Food.
Yep. Some Cliff bars.
That's probably, I don't know, would you say 2 days worth? One
if
a day?
you rationed that far, yeah.
If you really were in a
if you were walking long distance, any kind of distance, you might need all of that energy.
Yeah, that's not a lot of calories to get you through a lot of walking through the forest, though.
You might want to add a couple of regular sized ones, maybe.
Okay.
Have a variety of some other protein.
There you go.
So.
Oh, there we go. Pocket knife.
Yeah.
What else is in? That's the thing I like about these bags. There's so many pouches. It's like a treasure hunt. Gloves.
Gloves.
We were talking about that earlier.
Perfect.
Some more emergency water. These are interesting ones. I've never tried them. I never used them. And I think they have expiration dates, so I should probably check. I can't even read the date.
Yeah. The water packets could be used.
Can you read that date? It's like embedded in there.
Yeah.
It's like an engraving. 26, it looks like. Maybe another year left.
Yeah, I can't tell, but that's a good point to make, is that some of perishable, non-perishable, some survival foods and products do have expirations.
Yeah.
So
I might have to get new ones of these because they might be expired. It's hard to see that date though, but that's everything in that part.
If you have dehydrated foods, a lot of times this type of water is used to help prepare those dehydrated foods. Some people might consider having an actual cooker or a can of Sterno or something to be able to warm.
Oh, just wait till we get to the big bag.
Yeah, the big bag's got it. I'm sure.
All right. So the other part in here, I have another, but this is a multi-tool.
Multi-tool. Mm-hmm.
Very, very handy, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then warm hand
perfect.
warmers.
Yeah.
Especially in the winter.
They only last.
I get stuck in my truck having a way for hell.
Yeah.
This will come in handy.
Maybe have an extra they're small, put 2 or 3 more in this pack, because they are only going to last you about 4 or 5 hours tops. So
that's a great point.
More
of those.
A trick to these too is if you have a Ziploc bag, after you open it, shake it, and it activates, a person can put it in a Ziploc bag and it'll still it, so to speak. It'll stop it, and then if you reopen the bag, it's airtight. And then when you reopen it and shake it again, you can often get another hour or more out of it.
Because it's the oxygen that activates it.
Yeah. So if I
never thought of that.
If you've used it and then you can put it away and you don't need it for some reason, you can still conserve it for another use.
That's That's the outer parts of this bag. Now we
Mhm.
go on to the inner part. That's the fun of these bags. This
Yeah.
is a really light one too. Like I said, is that another thing I should probably mention. Another thing I've thought about is like if I had to ditch my truck,
Mhm.
there's a bunch of gear in my truck
Yeah.
that I could just
So
toss in
if there's
here.
space available, same with mine. There's room in mine, and some of my essentials for get home are in my lunch cooler. And I could, if I have lunch left over and something happens, I can take that with me. So
point.
I have boots, extra hat and gloves and a rain jacket and a coat in my semi that I could choose to add into my get home bag if needed. So
Yeah, that's actually, and I'm thinking like in my truck in the center console,
mhm,
I have another hat, some gloves.
mhm.
Actually, I have 2 hats
Yeah,
and
yeah,
some gloves and stuff. Yeah, so it's like
perfect.
it's a one massive storage
Mhm.
container is my truck.
Yeah,
So all right, here we get it now. Here's what we were talking about. A fire stove.
yeah.
Nice little way to
Warming up food, warming up your shelter.
I even have the instructions for it, which I
Yeah.
really don't need. Oh,
Uh-oh,
that one's even open. Oops.
mice?
That one broke open.
No, broke open.
No, it's a
Oh.
this is a fire starting
Oh,
kindling thing
okay.
that cracked open. I'll have to
Hmm.
play around with that later.
Hmm.
Get one of those Ziploc bags, but yeah, that's a
So on fire starter, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to help make fire starting easier. Toilet paper, cotton swab with hand sanitizer on it.
wood chips and wax.
Oh yeah,
I've seen people doing that.
These kits, are excellent ways to do it. Ferrule rods, a good old regular Bic lighter.
How many hand warmers did you say I
Oh,
should have?
good. There you go.
I forgot
There you
about
go.
those.
Yep.
That again, that's the fun part of this stuff is that like I haven't even looked at this in probably a year.
And you might ask, how much does this cost? Can you do it all at once? Or I would suggest every time you go to a store that has these types of items to add, have a list and then check off of your list. Every time you go to the store, get another item. Just keep adding to your bag until the list is
Makes
complete.
me think someone should come up with a really good checklist.
Ah, they're out
system.
there. Yeah. I was going to write a whole nother book, but I tell you what, there are guys who are way more knowledgeable and prepared and capable than I am. I can't think of the name to provide to you right now, but there's a lot of books out there that would give you better lists than what Chris or I could. So
Pair of socks.
yeah, perfect.
What was it? Congressman Van Orden
Yep.
used his socks for a tourniquet, but
Yep.
I think I packed that in because I figured if I'm away for a couple of days, I'm going to want a good pair of socks.
Do you happen to have in the bag cheap Walmart grocery bags?
I don't think I have any of those.
Okay, just a thought is to add 4 of those in there. They don't take up much space.
No, that's a good idea.
And if it gets wet, you can put those in over your socks and put it with the plastic bag into your shoe or your
Just
boot.
like when we were kids and
it'll help keep your socks dry if it's raining or if you're in a wet area.
I think when I was a kid, we had the Wonder Bread bag
Perfect.
wrapped around our socks before we put our boots on.
Yep. That's just another idea with the socks.
That's a great idea.
So
marshmallow fireside candle.
Yep.
I don't know why I put that in there.
Well, yeah.
That'll keep everyone happy.
Because you have it and it's available and it will warm. It'll warm your car up. In the dead of winter, this candle will be the difference between freezing to death and staying alive.
And I'm glad you brought that up because this is exactly like a few of these things are exactly what I put in my kid's bag when they got their driver's license.
Yeah.
And I think my daughter still has hers. Hat, gloves.
Yeah.
Perfect. Big fat ones. Hammock system.
Ah.
I really like having a hammock system.
Yeah.
There's just so many different uses for it. You can sling it up and take a nap if
Mm-hmm.
we're in a multi-day situation. But other than that, I mean, it
keeps you off the ground.
keeps you off the ground. It's
Yeah.
easy to sling it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are the straps for that.
Hmm.
Some good rope.
Yeah, some paracord. You could, you know, do this obviously if you have it, but if you buy the pack plastic wrapped, package of paracord, it's until you open it up. I mean, it's really small. It conceals well.
Yeah.
It stays protected.
Well, and just think about this situation that Derrick Van Orden found himself in too.
Yep.
All of a lot of these items could have come in really handy in that situation.
Yep. You can use the paper to help start a fire with once you open the paracord up.
Good call.
So everything's got an additional use to it, or could have.
Yeah, great point. This one I haven't even opened.
Yeah.
Just a little saw.
Perfect.
In case I want to cut twigs and need to make a fire.
Or a hatchet, a small camp hatchet. But this would help to be able to cut kindling and, some firewood if need be.
Yeah, exactly. And then some little glow stick things in case I need to help get people's attention.
Yep.
Emergency services out there. And a big knife.
Yep.
Fend off the bears.
Do you always wear a belt or not?
I do.
You do. Okay. And I actually have a survival belt that I got that could double it. I can't remember the tensile strength of it, but you could get yourself out of a jam with it if need be.
Yeah.
You could use it to for more uses than just holding stuff like this,
It's just easier to put it on your belt.
Yeah.
If you have a large knife like that, especially.
Yes.
And then I forgot about this little one. I have 2 flashlights, one that's battery and one that's
solar. Oh, crank up.
Cranked up.
Nice. Yep. That's good.
Does it still work?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Probably got to crank it more.
Yeah, I'll have to crank it more, but it was working. So, yeah, that's my full bag.
That's it. Okay. So
that's the get home.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're running out of time. I don't know if we're going to be able to do the big one.
Some things that I could see that Chris doesn't have in this bag, that would be simple. When you're on the move, when you're on, and maybe these water packets are gone, how about having what's called as a silcock? It's a small tool that on like commercial buildings, the tool is got a little square opening on it, and it's used to go onto the water spigots on commercial buildings, and it allows you to turn the water on. So it might be the difference between having clean, usable, potable water or not.
That's a great point.
So grab yourself one of those silcocks from.
What do I have in this? I forgot about this.
Okay, there's a bag. Yeah.
Bag. What's in the bag? Oh, a blanket.
Poncho.
Emergency bed.
Oh yeah. So one of those.
Yeah.
One of those silvery ones, probably.
Yeah, the kind that has the what do you call it? The reflector.
Yeah.
Holds in the heat. Yeah, heat reflectivity. But that's a great point. That seal cock.
Yep.
To open up the valves when you're at in an urban environment at the back of a building.
And because we're running out of time, maybe we can end, with this demonstration. But some other items that I have in my book that maybe you should consider: copies of your birth certificate and driver's license. That would be important to have, because if there's FEMA, there's a disaster shelter type situation set up in a town that you come to, you'd want to be able to show your proof of ID.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
just having an extra copy of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, everything else, emergency rations, gloves.
Another thing I thought of that when you mentioned IDs, a list of important phone numbers.
Yeah.
Because if my phone dies, the battery dies.
Yeah.
There goes all my memory too.
Yeah,
They're all
that's
stored.
a good point. Yeah.
I would have to write them down and just have a extra copy of that.
I know Chris would have his kit in his car, but if you don't, what he doesn't have in this bag is any first aid items in the actual bag. He would have his. I know he would,
Yeah.
but
Well, the kit that I was showing you before, that IFAC, that individual first aid kit, that is always in my truck.
yeah,
And as I mentioned, that's definitely one of the things that I would put in here if I have to.
for sure. But if you don't have one in your bug out bag, you
Maybe a second one.
you should have a small medical kit of some kind, and maybe consider having some type of painkiller, Tylenol, ibuprofen,
Oh, that's a great
acetaminophen.
point. Another thing too, like caffeine pills,
Yeah,
just to help.
yeah,
You know,
salt.
yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
Compass, duct tape,
That's a good point.
small waterproof camouflage tarp.
Another good point. Well, in a pinch, the hammock could do that.
Yeah.
But that's a good point, having an actual tarp.
And some of this might be in a little larger bug out bag too.
It's in my large bag too.
Yeah. I've got here a sewing kit,
I don't have any of those.
a small mirror, and a whistle.
Good call.
Yeah. The mirror can be used to reflect sunlight and be spotted or seen.
Shave in the morning out
Yeah.
in the woods.
You never know if you need a sewing kit for whatever reason.
That is a really good idea.
Let's see. A gun, a pistol.
I always have one on my hip.
You have one. So you'd want to have the right small amount of ammunition.
That is a good point. Extra magazines.
You can't carry too much because of the weight, but you'd want to have enough.
Yeah.
So
that might be extra magazines in here might be a good thing to have. Because that way I don't have to carry them around, but if I need them, they're in here.
Yeah. So that gives you a pretty good chance of either, getting home or getting to help, being able to prevent, hey, what's the first rule? Don't get dead.
Yeah. Right.
So if this helps you somehow not to get dead,
yeah,
that would be good.
Well, and as we're talking about it, if something really catastrophic happened,
yeah,
and I had to abandon my truck, that would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
My truck is going to be my home.
Yeah.
If something happens and I have to leave my truck, it's serious.
Yeah.
And I'm going to grab everything out of my truck that I can use and then, hike through the woods or whatever if I need to. I think in your story that no spoilers, but your characters had to reunite.
Yes.
And they used whatever little tools and stuff that they carried around in their get home bags in order to be able to do that. And then once you're back into a home like this, I mean, I got everything I need here.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. I mean, in the story, Aylin and her coworker Connie first grabbed what was useful out of their purses and around their cubicles. And then when they made it outside, Aylin knew that Ace, her husband, had a get-home bag like this stored in her vehicle in the parking lot. And they made it to that. And then when they were safe away from their situation, they stopped, they took a break, and they reorganized what Connie had and what was useful and what wasn't useful. They stashed the non-useful things, maybe to come back to it in a future date or to leave it and let it go.
And that's what we were talking about before, the critical thinking, the common sense, evaluate the situation that you're in.
Exactly.
And make the decisions that make the most sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a good episode. It's something that's been on the back of my mind for a while, obviously since your books.
Yeah. It's, we care about you. We care about people. We just want people to be safe and protected. Not everyone believes in a higher power, in God. in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, like Chris and I do. And obviously that is your right here in America to believe what you want to believe spiritually. We feel protected, angelic protection. I've had it happen to me many times in my life. But
and it also helps us to be helpers for others.
We have servant hearts, and we want to serve the needs of our fellow man. So,
good way to put it.
Yeah. God bless you. Hopefully this helps.
Thanks for joining us at the Speakeasy.
Be prepared.
I want you